On the last episode, we sailed our boat 88 nautical miles upriver to Mongo. On the way back, we wanted to stop at the mouth of the river where the turtles nested and find out more about these amazing creatures.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family.
Yeah, I got caught in the rain. It just every now and then, you can see it coming. It's been quite dry for the last few days, but then it suddenly started coming back again. So after sailing our boat to the mouth of the river, we anchored our boat and went ashore.
Haven't tasted salty water in ages.
So there are a lot of pressures on turtles in this part of the world. I mean, probably one of the most visually obvious things is the fishing nets that are just strung between stakes just offshore, and they're basically strung along the beach to catch the fish, but obviously the turtles have got to get through that to get to the beach. The other thing is the logs along the beach, which are a result of all of the clearing of the rainforest further upstream. They basically flow downstream and then get washed up on the beach, and then the turtles have got this labyrinth to get through to be able to lay the eggs on the beach.
One thing we can do to help turtles is to keep the beaches clean, so we try to do our little bit. It was nice to see that our other cruiser friends had made a kind of structure to keep all the rubbish in.
One of the saddest things we noticed was the amount of poaching that goes on. When the turtles leave the water and crawl up the beach, they leave tracks which the poachers follow and then dig up the nest for the turtle eggs. When we were up the river, we heard reports of a poacher car that had been stopped with 14,000 eggs in it. Despite the fact that they'd been stopped, a week later, a friend of ours, a cruiser friend who was an ex-policeman, caught some poachers on the beach doing exactly the same thing.
And the sad thing is that they're just eating these eggs like they would any other egg, because they don't realise the importance of these creatures, and they don't realise that these animals are actually endangered of becoming extinct.
There's also a worldwide shortage of building materials, and in particular building sand, and the sand in Suriname and the rivers is freshwater sand, which is just what the building industry wants, and so there's a lot of dredging of that sand, sand that previously used to flow down the river and form a spit where the turtles used to nest, is now no longer there because it's cleared before it actually gets there. And we'd heard from our local guide that that sand spit had reduced by at least 1 kilometre in the last few years as this dredging has been ramped up to fulfil this demand for the building industry. And as we saw when we went further into the jungle, apart from the logging, there's a lot of clearance for the gold mining. And basically there's a lot of toxic chemicals that get washed through the soil into the river and then down into the estuary where the turtles are trying to lay their eggs as well.
Next expedition.
This is our third time on the beach to try and find turtles. We've come at dusk and hopefully we'll see some tonight.
When it was dark, we managed to spot quite a few turtles that were slowly heading up the beach to make their nests. We didn't get a lot of footage because we didn't want to shine our light and disturb them, but it really was amazing.
Wow.
We've come from the beach and we've managed to sail the whole way. So winding our way through the river, the wind obviously comes from different directions, so had to do quite a few jibes, but now I'm going to sail through this bridge. Well, I'm not actually going to sail through it, I'm going to sail under it.
Yeah, I will try to do my best to keep you safe inside this nest and keep the gravity from pulling you to earth. I'd like to say this gets more clear when it's more cloudy every day, but summer's gonna come and burn the the stormy clouds and all the doubt away. Sleep, little girl, 'cause when you wake it's gonna be a different world.
I think what's really strange is having come from upriver and visited the villages where people are living in no more than sheds and tin shacks. We've now hit the main Suriname River and we're heading back up to Domburg, and we're passing all of these kind of luxury villas. Obviously people making the money from the aluminium or the logging and gold mines further upstream. But I've never been to a place where I've seen such a stark contrast in income equality.
You're safe in here inside these insulated walls, but I can't hold this house together, not forever.
So that's White Pearl heading back to Waterland. We're going to head to a place called Domburg where we're going to anchor off for a few days. I think we've already spent quite a lot of money in Waterland. It's 25 euros a night and it adds up very quickly. So we're not going to go there, we're going to go to Domburg where there's a washing machine and reputedly a swimming pool as well and some Wi-Fi. You can't actually moor there, but you can anchor just off it. And so from there we can get taxis into Paramaribo and do the various bits of paperwork we need to do before we leave.
'Cause winter's just around the bend. Don't make a sound and close your eyes and say goodbye, yeah.
This is the only recycling unit that I found in the whole of this country so far. I mean, not that I'm looking, but you know, I haven't just, you don't see them. And I've had a look inside and it is being used properly. There's only plastic bottles in there. It looks like it's funded by an Australian company.
So we've arrived in Suriname and we've been here for a while now, but we've discovered this place. It's a place near Domburg.
It was a great place to do schoolwork and eat pizza. Oh, it's so cold! This morning we're going to try and find a small part, a small brush. It's not a brush that you sweep with, but it's a brush that goes in the electric motor for the main furler. Okay, this is our challenge today.
This is the thing about being in out of the way places, is you've got to source little tiny things like that, which would be no problem at all ordering it online like in Europe, but we have to actually go around the shops to try and find it, trying to replace that little fella. That's our adventure today.
Okay, so no luck yet. They're not the right size. I think we might be able to try somewhere else. Spotted this shop by the roadside, so it's worth a try for the brush that we need to get. Here we go again. Okay, so we're going to try to see last place if we can actually get one that actually is the correct size.
We tried another shop. It's mainly a Makita dealer, this one, but they don't actually do the brushes for even Makita, let alone Leroy Summers, so we're out of luck here as well. So we've been to a few different shops and we've ended up here at this kind of trading store that sell a lot of power tools, and basically I've just been comparing bushes, but we haven't found an exact match, but we found a very similar one. So what I'm going to try and do is solder the end piece of that one onto the carbon end of that one and just see if it works. It's not too expensive.
Okay, just topped up our SIM card, so we've got some more gigabytes. We went for our last shop at the supermarket. Okay, so we're going to check out now at the military police. So now we've been checked out of the country. You're supposed to do it the day before, but the lady just kind of called me over and then just sort of said, do you want me to do it the day after? And I kind of said, yes, please. So that was really cool. As we're coming out, there was a very nice gentleman that kindly told Woody that you're not allowed to wear shorts in this country when you're going to official offices. So he's been told, haven't you, Woody?
I'm not allowed to wear shorts.
But that's it. So we've got to leave now in 2 days. We're leaving Domburg, where we've been on a mooring buoy. We've also been playing in the pool there, which is quite fun, and Woody managed to fix the mainsail furler because we eventually found some brushes to go in that motor.
Actually, it just goes to show how damp it's been on board in the Amazon rainforest, because you can see all the mould growing over everything. Every time I open a bilge, things have got mould growing all over it. So, and it's really hard to get across how hot and humid it is in here. Right.
So that's really good. Yeah, the mooring buoy is a lot cheaper. They're only just up to €10 rather than 25 at Waterland. But we're going to Waterland to fill up, so we go there for one night, and then we need to leave because we've basically checked out the country and we're due to leave on Thursday. So we'll start heading back down the river on Thursday. But that's it. That's us. The next morning we head off early towards the mouth of the river. We're off, leaving Waterland. It's been cool. Was our last stop before we leave this country. It's a great place. You don't really expect anything when you look at the outside here, but when you walk up the lovely grass kind of path up to the actual renovated plantation house, it's beautiful, and they've got a pool there. You can get nice food. They've got great cocktails, and they're extremely welcoming as well. So and they've also got Wi-Fi if you're looking for that. So yeah, definitely recommend a stop at Pepper Pot. The other great thing about Pepper Pot is that it's got a floating dinghy dock. So with the tides coming in now and the massive tidal range here, you can leave your dinghy there and it'll be completely safe. We just anchored at Pepper Pot last night on our way back down the river, and we're just going across the river now to get gas. But our autopilot just not turning on this morning. Not that we need it right now, but it has been playing up a little bit, and now it's just completely, the screen's gone blank. In Suriname is something that we will not miss. Actually no, it's quite nice, it's refreshing, but sometimes you get it every day non-stop and it just stays grey and damp and everything's starting to get really mouldy. So, you know, that's one of the downsides, but there's lots of upsides. The more water we collect, then we've got for washing up basically, and then we don't have to worry about making so much. Also for showers, it means we can have a shower every day. We just said goodbye to White Pearl. They're heading to St Vincent and the Grenadines. It's not far from us, but we'll be heading just a little bit further north to Martinique. We finally say goodbye to Matt, who's been with us all the way across the Atlantic. He's stayed in Suriname and now he's hopped onto another boat to get to St Vincent and the Grenadines. So yeah, we really appreciate having him on board and appreciate the OCC for helping him to be able to do that as well, because it covered his costs of flights and insurance and so forth. We're going to go pretty soon too. We're kind of getting ourselves really ready because our autopilot is not working at all now, so we'll be hand steering the whole way, which would be quite good to practice. It's good to sort of do a bit of hand steering as well, but it just makes it a lot more difficult because that means one person is always having to steer the boat. But yeah, wouldn't it be great to have a wind vane one day, but never mind. That's what we've got at the moment.
So I've only just realised as I was doing an engine check that there was fluid coming from this strut here, and the lid of the engine bay is getting increasingly difficult to lift. So obviously this is on its way out, so this is yet another maintenance job to do. I need to source where these are made and try and get one shipped out. Otherwise we're going to have the engine bay slamming on toes and fingers and things. But at least I found out where that fluid's coming from and I won't have to stay awake at night trying to work it out, and we'll move on to the next job.
And so hopefully we can get some repairs done when we get to Martinique, and we're really looking forward to going there. It's kind of what we promised the kids for 3 years actually, white sandy beaches and clear water. So that's what we're hoping to get really. And some hikes. We haven't done some hike for a while, we really fancy that. So stay tuned for our next episode when things don't go so well and we have a medical emergency aboard.
Identify as a marlin.
It's an arse thing. A big thanks for watching, and especially thanks to our patrons who make these videos possible. If you'd like to become part of the Patreon family, then follow the link in the description below, or just put Mothership Adrift Patreon and I'll take you to the right place.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be.
We would really love to hear from you, so if you'd like to leave comments, then go to our Facebook page or Instagram, or even to our Patreon page where you can connect to us immediately.
Stay by your side, oh, hey, you'll always be